Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. Getting into the news tonight, the Minister of Labour, Industrial Relations and Employment Creation, Utoni Noyoma, says many workers in Namibia today do not understand or adequately appreciate how trade union membership can benefit them, their families, and the nation, adding that some may have negative attitude towards trade unions. In his address at the Workers' Day celebration in Rundu, Noyoma highlighted the importance of strengthening trade unions and promoting unity among workers. I know of no country in the world where non-union workers have better wages and working conditions than those workers represented by trade unions. We must work hard to demonstrate the positive value of trade union membership. I also encourage trade unions to consider multimedia strategies to publicize the gains that workers have achieved through your affiliate unions and to keep trade unions' activities and views in the public eye. He said, "In my opinion, trade unions can play a stronger role in economic growth and development by prioritizing the organization of unorganized workers and the organization of workers in the new areas of economic development, advocating that government policies and investment programs include content that ensure labor protection and maximization of employment creation. Trade unions are also working to strengthen industry-wide collective bargaining, as well as providing ongoing education, including computer literacy and strengthening internal union democracy." Noyoma added, "Now the minister encouraged both old and new trade unions to create platforms to promote the unification of the labor movement and to create alliances between and among federations on matters of common interest. I am informed that 44 trade unions are registered with the Labor Commissioner. Fragmentation of trade union representation in sectors and unprincipled raiding of established bargaining units will never be in the interest of the workers. It can lead to unwarranted instability in labor relations. In unity, there is strength," he said. The minister added the tripartite task force on the amendment of the Labor Act 2007 is expected to complete its work this month. Moving on, in a similar story, with a reported over 8,000 unemployed graduated teachers between 2017 and 2023, the situation is getting worse as an additional 1,500 graduates from the University of Namibia's northern and northeastern regions campuses joined in recent weeks, the profession which has become the synonym of no jobs. With the ugly head of sex and bribes for teacher positions in this critical profession continuously raising its head, which has now resulted in becoming a teacher in Namibia seen as a challenge to those who are eager to become an educator. Last year, the ministry filled about 740 positions, while 750 jobs are to be advertised and filled this year. A tip of the iceberg of this dilemma is that at UNAM's Rundu campus, the School of Education conferred 506 graduates with qualifications, the Katima Mulilo campus with 332, while the northern campuses totaled a combined 663 graduates. This figure excludes those who have graduated from other universities and the over 15 colleges that offer qualifications in education. Most institutions have graduation ceremonies twice a year. Family and friends do attend the graduation ceremonies of the graduates and go to the extent of throwing parties for them in anticipation that the graduates are one step closer to securing a job and a better livelihood. However, the grim reality is that the thousands of graduates join the thousands already swimming in the pool of continuous job seeking. Even those who enrolled in the School of Education at various universities and colleges at the beginning of the year know of this reality. Having to spend thousands of dollars on transport money and accommodation in any region when a vacancy is available is the least of these graduates' worries. Facing competition as thousands of other unemployed graduates who also applied for the same teaching position as you remain is also amongst the worst. However, securing $20,000 to $30,000 Namibian dollars of bribe money has turned out to be a huge challenge, especially for the graduates who cannot afford it. In the wake of communities across the countries revolting against debt collecting companies enlisted on them, the Grootfontein municipality says it will not terminate the contract entered into between the council and Red Force. The municipality argues that it has had enough of clients defaulting on their monthly municipal accounts. The cash-strapped local authority, which signed a contract with Red Force on the 5th of April, also revealed that they are owed $213 million by clients who have defaulted on their municipal accounts over the years. And despite engaging residents, they still do not honor them. This is contained in a media release issued on Friday by the town's mayor, Talita Garises, in response to various demonstrations and positions submitted by disgruntled residents who feel that Red Force will make life difficult for those who are to be handed over to the debt-collecting company. The residents in their petition argue that the local authority should instead make use of their debt-collecting department within the municipal structures instead of a third party. They further went on to accuse the local authority of not consulting the community before appointing Red Force. Instead of offering sustainable solutions to debt problems, the Grootfontein municipality is pushing the community into repayment plans that will prolong their financial hardship or even worsen their debt burden in the long run. The municipal council did not follow correct legal procedure in the appointment of Red Force. We, the community, was not consulted on this move, and we thus feel you are throwing us to the wolves. While we are the ones that voted the councillors into those positions they enjoy today, not to destroy us, but to represent us in the best possible way. Now, this development comes just days after Urban and Rural Development Minister Erastus Uthwani appealed to local authorities to curb their reliance on external debt collectors to recover funds from defaulting clients. Now, next story. In keeping with its sustainability focus, the National Youth Service is celebrating the first harvest of potatoes and sweet potatoes at its production center in Rietfontein, Oshadonjiba region, marking a significant achievement for the organization since its inception. The potato harvest not only highlights the service's strong commitment to diversifying crop production for the sustainability of its operations, but also contributes to the government's objectives of achieving food security and enhancing nutrition by 2030. The production, which covers a combined 1 hectare total area under the Center Pivot Irrigation System, was implemented with the support of the Namibia Training Authority's Agricultural Technology Grant, which is awarded to the NYS in 2022 for the production of vegetables on 3.5 hectare plot of land at Rietfontein. The purpose of the grant was to enable the NYS to generate revenue to further fund its programs. Most of the yield from the planned 25 tons will be distributed to various retailers across the country, with a smaller portion going towards the feeding of trainees. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our story of the day. Just stick around.
Connection. It's in the human touch. The feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
With over 1,000 police cadet constables having graduated this morning after completing a 9th-month basic police training course, President Nangolo Mbumba said that this will strengthen the police efforts in fighting crime and creating a safe environment for Namibians. He also said that this means that new police stations will need to be established to absorb the newly trained officers. Kenya Kambowe was there.
Namibia is one of the countries of the African continent which is respected and indeed admired for upholding the fundamental human rights and freedoms of its citizens. Directors of ceremony, this graduation comes at an opportune time as we seek to increase the number of our police officers. Today, we are welcoming 1,060 graduates, consisting of 679 males 381 females. This will enable the police to open several new police stations and police posts across the country. The recruitment of these graduates into the Namibian police force will strengthen our police operations nationwide, as some will be posted to guard our borders, to bolster security and ensure that criminals are prevented from entering our country and disturbing the peace and stability we continue to enjoy and very much cherish.
Lovers Market welcomed their newest VetSmart store at Hilltop Village in Windhoek today. On the other side of the break, we expand on what this entails.
Introducing 061 Express, brought to you by Synergy in proud partnership with Windhoek Express. Here's your chance to make your voice heard to celebrate the businesses that make Windhoek exceptional. From your favorite coffee spot to the salon that always gets your style just right. It's time to shine a spotlight on the gems of our city. Over the next 8 weeks, it's your chance to vote for your favorites to recognize the best of the best. Nominations open on the 25th of April and close on the 5th of May. To nominate your favorite business, simply save this number 085 785 6231 and WhatsApp hashtag 061 Express or scan the QR code below and follow the on-screen instructions. By nominating your favorites, you're not only supporting local businesses, but you also stand a chance to win your share of 50,000 Namibian dollars in cash. The voting process will be the same as the nominations process, using the Synergy chatbot and the hashtag 061 Express. Voting opens on June 5th and closes on June 23rd. Make sure to cast your vote for the best of the best. The winners will be announced on June 28th. 061 Express, celebrating the heartbeat of Windhoek. Get ready to make your mark.
In our community talk, as part of their dedication to cater to the growing demand for specialty pet products and services, Food Lovers Market welcomed their newest VetSmart store at Hilltop Village in Windhoek today. It is the first store to open as part of their partnership. It offers playful in-store design, including animatronics, an extensive range of products, and a customer-centric approach to holistic pet care. Store manager Andreas Jacobs talks about VetSmart and Food Lovers Market's partnership after the opening and ribbon cutting. Mariette Ngula reports.
Good morning, I am the store manager of the VetSmart at Food Lovers Hilltop, and we are happy to say that we are opening this store today. It's the first store we are opening in the Food Lovers. So we went in a joint venture with VetSmart, so we can offer the customers a diverse range of all kinds of products for the animals. We have raw foods, we have Hills, we have all the veterinary brands. So please come make a visit to come visit and come have a look.
According to Economic News, an alert sounded for Southern Africa on El Nino drought. After the break, we get into this. In our economic news, as previously highlighted before the break, the El Nino-linked drought has caused widespread crop damage and wilting in southern African countries, with the 2024 harvest expected at below average levels. This is according to a special alert issued by the Global Information and Early Warning System on Food and Agriculture. It said that production prospects for the 2024 cereal crops across southern Africa have taken a sharp downturn since the beginning of the year. It said considering the harvest period is expected to commence this month, the likelihood of a recovery is negligible. Namibia's Agricultural Ministry has recommended to the government that it must declare a drought emergency at the national level. In Namibia, provisional estimates indicate that there has been a decline of 53% in crop production from a harvest of 153,012 tons in the 2022 to 2023 season to 72,150 tons in the 2023 to 2024 season. According to the GIEWS report, cereal imports are expected to increase significantly in the 2024 to 2025 marketing year in order to stable consumption levels. It said that in most years, white maize supplies from South Africa and Zambia have been more than sufficient to meet the import demand of neighboring countries. However, based on current supply and demand projections in South Africa for 2024 to 2025, white maize exports are expected to fall short to a level below the quantity imported by neighboring southern African countries in 2023 to 2024, it said. Now, the report said that as a result, there is a high likelihood that imports needed to cover domestic consumption will have to be sourced from outside the sub-region. Southern African countries may therefore need to transition to alternative grains to satisfy consumption needs. In Namibia, available stock in government silos is running low at only 16% of the total holding capacity. Next up is our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.08, against the euro at 19.81, against the US dollar at 18.38. 2 Namibian dollars and 55 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went up, with Brent crude oil trading at 0.77%, going for $84 and 13 cents per barrel. In international news, the European Commission President counting on China to influence Russia to end aggression against Ukraine. To stay with Sunset News for an update on this on the other side of this.
The Agenda is a weekly national affairs interview program hosted every Sunday by Namibian Sun editor Toivon Jabela, featuring a panel of high-profile newsmakers, analysts, and experts. The Agenda aims to reach high-end news consumers seeking informed understanding of national issues. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and the Namibia Media Holdings Facebook platform. The Agenda focuses on interviews where we put the nation in the hot seat. Contact Agenda at synergy.com.na to get your product and service in the hot seat. The Agenda, focused on today's conversation.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said that the European Union counts on China to lean on Russia to end its war on Ukraine in a statement following talks with the country's President Xi Jinping earlier today. On the Israel-Palestinian conflict, she reiterated calls for a ceasefire and for the release of all hostages, also pledging continued humanitarian support. On trade, von der Leyen said the EU cannot absorb massive overproduction of Chinese industrial goods, flooding its market, and added that she had urged Xi to take steps to address the issue of such overcapacities. Von der Leyen joined trilateral talks with Xi and French President Emmanuel Macron at the Élysée Palace on Monday.
We agree that Europe and China have a shared interest in peace and security. We count on China to use all its influence on Russia to end Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine. President Xi has played an important role in de-escalating Russia's irresponsible nuclear threats, and I'm confident that President Xi will continue to do so against the backdrop of the ongoing nuclear threats by Russia. Finally, we discussed the situation in the Middle East, which is of great concern for both of us. No effort can be spared in de-escalating tensions and preventing a wider conflict in the region. Once again, we call for a ceasefire and for the release of all hostages, and we continue to work to provide all humanitarian support possible while working for a two-state solution. We also discussed our economic and trade relationship. It is one of the most important in the world. I am convinced that if the competition is fair, we in Europe will have thriving, durable economies that will support more good jobs. But of course today we also discussed the imbalances that remain significant. And this is a matter of great concern. As we have shown, we will defend our companies, we will defend our economies, we will never hesitate to do so if this is required. The world cannot absorb China's surplus production. Therefore, I have encouraged the Chinese government to address these structural overcapacities. At the same time, we will closely coordinate with G7 countries and emerging economies that are also increasingly affected by China's market distortions. The EU-China relations is a complex relationship. We approach it clear-eyed, constructively and responsibly, because a China that plays fair is good for all of us. At the same time, Europe will not waver from making tough decisions needed to protect its economy and its security.
Getting into our weather predictions for tomorrow. Katima Mulilo can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. Hobabis can expect sunny weather, while Ventu can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius. Hennis Bay can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 19 degrees Celsius. Aranjemund, Ariansplay, Luderets, Kidmanswerp, and most of the towns can expect sunny weather, with Aranos expecting partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. We now head over to the sports desk, proudly brought to you by Sportsrep. Here's Ari Hogat with the sports news.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with soccer news first. Exciting few weeks that's left in the English Premier League, and it's coming to an end. It is on the 19th of May, the last games of the English Premier League season for the season 2023-2024 will be played. Tough at the top, it's two teams that's basically in the running to win the English Premier League. It is Arsenal leading at the moment, 83 points after 36 games, and then defending champions Manchester City, 82 points after 35 games. So what's left? Arsenal need to play two more games. They have a tough game on Sunday, the 12th of May. That's when they play at Manchester United. And then their last game of the season on the 19th will be at home against Everton. For defending champions Manchester City, they have a away game to Fulham. That is on Saturday the 11th of May. And then they have a game on the Tuesday the 14th. That is a away game also against Tottenham Hotspur. So two away games for for Manchester City before they finish the season on the 19th with a home game against West Ham. So all to play for in the English Premier League. In golf, it was the Canadian Taylor Pendrith that won the CJ Cup Byron Nelson tournament in Texas. That's on the USPGA. He birdied the final hole for 67. That's for a total of -23 for the 4 rounds. He beat Ben Coles of the United States by one shot. He was second on -22. On to rugby news. It is the 7th season that came to an end. The season winners, the league winners for the men, is Argentina. They beat South Africa for 5th place. That was in Singapore. That was enough for them to win the season, their first league title ever. The tournament in Singapore, the men's division, won by New Zealand, beating Ireland by 17 points to 14. In the women's side of the draw, it was New Zealand that beat Australia by 31-21, enough for New Zealand to be the league winners also for 2024. And to conclude today's international sports news, it is tennis news. It is the Italian Open that will start this week, and it is the Madrid Open that was concluded over the weekend. Not good news for the organizers is that home favorite in the men's division, Yannick Sinner of Italy, he will not be able to play in the Italian Open in Rome. He's got a hip injury, so he withdrew from the tournament.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for joining Sunset News this Monday evening. Do make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, 1up2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday and Sundays from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.